So we're starting off today with some white tea in my favorite mug of this dude that I like to pretend is me or an ancestor of me with the long torso and the small fucking legs. And I'm gonna film some shit for you guys that I'll include in this video. Some movement stuff. I haven't quite decided, but it'll be in the title of of this when it's done. And just talk about some shit that's on my mind, man. You know. So I'm gonna enjoy some of this shit and then I'll get to it. So many people would feel a lot better and they would save themselves a lot of suffering, anguish, discomfort, anger in their relationships. Not only like their love and sexual relationships with their partners, but with their friends, their families, with the strangers that they meet on the street. If they would just learn how to, or at least try to fucking remember, because it's actually really difficult to try to remember to give away your love and compassion without any expectations to get anything back from anyone in return. So what does that mean? Like when you hold the door for a stranger, not expecting them to thank you and praise you for doing it, and then getting fucking pissed off that they didn't thank you, praise you, or even look at you for holding the door for them, which happens all the time. Or when you do the dishes for your family at home after like a Christmas dinner or a family get-together, right? That no one praised you for doing the dishes. It's like you should probably just do the dishes because you love them, not because you need them to tell you. And or like buying something nice or taking someone on a trip, a person who you like and want to be intimate with, right? Someone who you want to start a relationship with, that you have sexual feelings for. You know, doing some nice shit for them, and then getting pissed off when they don't accept your advances or want to go on a date with you or want to have sex with you. Or if you're in a relationship with someone, doing something nice for them, taking them out for dinner, praising them, doing something, and then they don't you know, tell you how great of a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever the fuck it is that you are to them, or go over the top trying to return the favor to you. See, if we approach all of these situations from the mindset of like just giving away your love unconditionally to everyone, your compassion unconditionally to everyone, because you want to do what's best for the world, that is a very selfless thing. And when you're expecting shit back from people, that's a very selfish thing. It's a very ego-driven thing, a self-centered thing. It comes from the idea that you are so fucking important and the center of the universe and the player one in your little video game or your movie. And that leads to a shitload of frustration. Because it's like, oh, I bought you this nice dress. I bought you this basket of muffins. I held the door for you. I did the dishes. And you didn't fucking tell me how awesome I am. You didn't tell me how much you love me and how special I am. You didn't validate my actions. That's fucked, man. That sucks. That sucks for you. That sucks for me. That sucks for everybody whenever we act this way. So it's best to let that shit go. Notice whenever you're coming from a place of being selfish and from your self-importance. Let that go. Do shit in an altruistic manner and try, right? Fuck, that's the main word here, is like try to give your love and compassion away without any expectations, and watch how that makes you feel. I bet you feel a fuck ton better. I bet.
Should I just fucking leave it like this? I suppose I could, huh? It's a good look.
So on my way to go pick up some... Ooh, my mouth is cold, so when I'm talking, it feels like it's all lame, like this. You can see how fucking freezing it is today. But yeah, off to go pick up some paleo protein bars, because we know how much caveman needed their fucking protein bars. And maybe some beef jerky, and then, yeah. Uh, if you've been paying any attention to my Instagram and some of the work I've been doing with my clients recently, I've been posting videos of clients who've struggled with single leg balance and exercises and movements involving them being on one leg. A lot of the shit that you do every single day involves you being on one leg, especially if you're someone who's a runner. All of it is on one leg. You're constantly bounding. So when you're walking upstairs, one leg. Even getting up out of this position is primarily one leg. I just use the other leg for a bit of support. It's so important that you're fucking really comfortable being on one leg. And the problem is many people aren't, and they lose stability in this lateral motion from their pelvis in the frontal plane, so side to side. So that might look something like this. They'll get this knee collapse inward. Perhaps they'll get this shuffling of the pelvis every single step that they take where it's trying to jut out sideways. This can create a shitload of problems for your low back, for your hips. It's just ugly. It's just, we don't want it because it can lead to injuries and that in places that we don't want. So what we can do, as long as you already have decent glute engagement, good core engagement, you kind of like laid down the foundation, then this exercise might be really nice for you to try to build up some stability in the hips and stability in the frontal plane, so that side-to-side lateral motion in the hips, while working a sagittal up and down motion. This is a really powerful one for like runners or just anyone who wants their hips and low back and glutes to feel a lot fucking better every single day and start moving like a goddamn space panther. So to do this, you'll want some sort of a stability ball. If you don't have one of these, you should probably fucking get one for at home, like for a home gym, because it's really versatile and you can use it for a lot of different exercises. And I mean, it packs up easily if you want to deflate it and then pump it up later. So if you're moving places, it's not like heavy equipment that you have to truck with you. It's a really great thing to have. So pick one up. They're like fucking 20, 30 bucks for a decent one. So to do this, we get it over by the wall. Now you're gonna notice, I take my hand and I roll the ball down to around my knee level. This means it should be right there in the side of my knee. What I'm gonna do is, can you see my fucking feet? Yeah, you can now, I think. Well, fuck it, my feet are on the ground, toes are facing forward. I get the ball there, I pick up one knee, and then I rest it into the ball. Now, what I'm doing is, I'm making sure I'm aligned. My hips aren't out here, I'm not out here, I'm not twisting or being all fucked up. You may wanna do this in front of a mirror or film yourself like I am so I can see myself. So I pick up the foot, and I start to press this knee into the ball, okay? So this knee is doing this into the ball. Now you'll notice it's doing this, it's not doing this. I'm not twisting from my spine. I'm pressing my leg into the ball from my hip. Now, I've got to go get that ball again. What that's going to do is start to engage the glutes on the supporting side, because the pressure into this ball is trying to shove and force the pelvis over this way. In fact, it's trying to topple your whole body over that way. So the goal is to keep the pelvis stable as you press into that ball and resist the pressure from this ball. And due to the nature of this ball being springy and bouncy, it's gonna act like a little fucking trampoline trying to shove you over. So we can get up, core on, nice and straight, toes forward, glutes are already slightly engaged, I let go, I start to press. Now I can hang out here and actively squeeze my glutes until I start to feel a burn. We can hold this for time. This is a great starting place for this exercise. Squeezing, 10 to 30 seconds, rest, relax, do it again, up, core, pressure, glutes, stable, tall, strong. We're not rounding, twisting, right? Making sure that you're aligned. Now, once you've mastered that shit, and that feels really comfortable, we can begin to get some movement going on in there by adding in a tiny squat position. I like to call these like a monkey squat, because you know whenever you see like monkeys running around and they're in this kind of little tiny butt squat, right? This position of like readiness, like that athletic position, is what we're talking about. So what you're gonna be doing is the same thing, up, pressure into the ball, and we're gonna create a tiny little squat in there as well. So this is gonna, if you do this correctly, you're going to feel this a shitload in your glutes. The key to this is not allowing the knees to go too far forward. This isn't involving any of my glutes because you can see I'm nice and straight. What will get your glutes involved is getting your ass back into there and kind of hinging into it. That will load up your butt muscles and stabilizers and actually get them to fire. So if you're only feeling this in the quad or the knee or the ankle even, like because of the amount of dorsiflexion involved, so bringing the foot up towards your fucking face involved in moving forward, it's no bueno, we don't want that. So what you've got to do is instead of this, get your ass back, right? See how my knee is pretty much still over my foot here, or relatively straight shin. It's almost like I'm bowing a bit from my hips. It's that motion rather than this motion, okay? We're not up and down quite so much as I'm moving my ass back and then driving my hips forward. Just like coming up out into a run. I almost fucking ate it into the mirror. So, take the ball, get our pressure, and you can have the arms stationary or you can do it like you're running, okay? And we're going to get your ass back and squeeze up. The whole time, my body in this is fighting being pushed over. And I've got to keep my pelvis neutral. So we're not letting it do this. We're not twisting, right? Stable, strong, tall. Everything is happening in this motion. We're only happening in the forward, back, up, and down plane of motion, that sagittal plane. If you do this correctly, I'm serious, you're gonna feel that in your butt. and if you feel it in your butt, then you know you're doing it well. Kind of right where that jean pocket would be, where someone would slap you on the ass and say, good game. So yeah, try it out. Let me know what you think. It's a fantastic exercise for those who are looking to improve their hip stability, their glute engagement, to functionally work their glutes in a way that transfers well into everyday life and athletics, and isn't just like doing hip thrusters and squats and clamshells and shit. All those have a place, but this is a nice way to kind of switch that up and challenge yourself. So if you're a runner and that, and again, if you feel your hips kind of being shifty or your knees collapse when you run and step, or you have some hip or back pain when you walk and run, this might be a great thing for you to do. I'm saying might because I'm not assessing you, but you know, try it out. I really enjoy this exercise. I program it for a lot of my clients. If you have some knee injuries though, like shearing knee injuries, or it might be tough on the knee, approach it with caution because the sideways force vector, the frontal plane motion of the ball pushing into you, can be a little tough on the knee for someone like that. But again, it might have a place. So yeah, fucking give it a go and let me know what you think.